Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, Chapter 9, text number 33. It is in the form of prose, so we'll chant together. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Narayana Vasudeva Adi Purusha Mahapurusha Mahanubhava Paramamangala Paramakalyan Paramakarunika Keval Jagat Adara Lokaikanatha Sarveshwara Lakshminatha Paramahamsa Parivrajakai Parivrajakai Paramamenatma Paramenatma Yoga Samadhina Paribhavita Parishputa Paramahamsaya Dharmena Udgatita Tamaha Kapatha Dware Chitte Apavrata Atmaloke Swayam Upalabdha Nija Sukhanubhavo Bhavan. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat the translation. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Narayana, O Vasudeva, original person, O most exalted person, supreme experience, welfare personified, O supreme benediction, supremely merciful and changeless, O support of the cosmic manifestation, sole proprietor of all planetary system, master of everything, and husband of goddess of fortune. Your lordship is realized by the topmost sannyasis who wander about the world to preach Krishna consciousness, fully absorbed in samadhi through bhakti yoga. Because their minds are concentrated upon you, they can receive the conception of your personality in their fully purified hearts. When the darkness in their hearts is completely eradicated, and you are revealed to them the transcendental bliss they enjoy is the transcendental form of your lordship. No one but such persons can realize you. Therefore, we simply offer you our respectful obeisances. Who is offering these prayers? Last few verses we have been reading. Who is offering these prayers? Huh? Devatas. Yes, Devatas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has numerous transcendental names pertaining to different grades of revelation, to various grades of devotees and transcendentalists. When he is realized in his personal form, he is called Supreme Brahman. When realized as Paramatma, he is called Antaryami. And when he expands in different forms for material creation, he is called Shirokdaka Shai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, and Karanodaka Shai Vishnu. When he is realized as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Niruddha, the Chaturvyuha, who are beyond the three forms of Vishnu, he is Vaikuntha Narayana. Above realization of Narayana is the realization of Baladeva, and above is realization of Krishna. All these realizations are possible when one engages fully in devotional service. The covered core of one's heart is then completely open to receiving an understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in its various forms. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So we have been reading in the chapter the appearance of demon Vritrasura. So, few verses before we read how demon appeared, and seeing the gigantic demon, everyone in great fear, they all ran here and there. So then Indra and other demigod, tried to attack Vritrasura through bow, arrow and different weapon, but it is mentioned Vritrasura used to swallow these weapons actually. He was a very powerful demon. And then they were stuck with wonder. We read again and again, correct? Last 2-3 chapters we have been reading. Sometimes demons win the battle, then demigods win the battle, they take help of Vishnu. The same thing. So struck with wonder, in the earlier verse it is mentioned, struck with wonder and disappointment upon seeing the strength of the demon, demigod lost their own strength. So there is always a fight between demon and the demigod. Therefore they started offering prayers and worshipped Narayana to please and satisfy. So Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, is pleased when we offer prayers. That is one of the anga of devotional service in the Navavidha Bhakti. So demigod always resort to that, because only demigod, Devata, they know Vishnu or Narayana is the supreme, Krishna is the supreme, so they are left with no other alternative to go to him. So this sort of understanding and this big translation here we read. So here all the adjective words are used by the Devatas. Original person, exalted person, supreme experience, welfare personified. Because Devatas, they are all Vishnu Bhakta. Though they have tinge of material desires, Prabhupada mentioned. Otherwise they know very clearly Vishnu or Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are offering all these wonderful words. O Supreme Benediction, O Supremely Merciful and Changeless, O Support of the Cosmic Manifestation, Sole Proprietor, Master of everything, Husband of Goddess of Fortune. So, and then they say, interesting, your Lordship is realized by the topmost sannyasis who wander about the world to preach Krishna consciousness, fully absorbed in samadhi through bhakti yoga. Their minds are purified, they concentrate on the Supreme Lord, like that it goes on explaining. So this this thing also in many places in the Bhagavatam and in the Vedic literature we come across. Because the Supreme Lord cannot be easily understood by us, conditioned soul. So when we hear the prayers of the Devatas, when we hear the prayers of pure devotees, we can get a glimpse of what will be the Lord, what are the characteristics of Lord. Otherwise, we are in our own understanding, something like Kupamandukanaya, logic of frog in the well, Prabhupada explained, correct? We cannot comprehend anything beyond this world. In this world itself, we can't comprehend so many things. So, similarly, Kunti Devi also, on the same line, she is also offering very famous prayer. We are all familiar with that verse. Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katam Pashyema Istriyam. She is a woman. So Prabhupada right there, she is not an ordinary woman, but like we have our mothers, sisters. She is a very exalted devotee who can be related to Krishna. So Kunti Maharani is saying, you can be understood only by Paramahamsa. So the same thing is mentioned here. The Paramahamsa, Parama means supreme, Amsa means swan. Prabhupada always explains, correct? Swan has got a very wonderful qualification. You give a swan milk mixed with water, it can easily discern and it will drink only milk and leave aside the water. Like that in one lecture, Prabhupada says, similarly you see the lizard. In the wall it is so sour, it is painted, it is so smooth, correct? But lizard easily they go around actually. They got that specific qualification. Or Prabhupada mentions about eagle. Eagle flies so high in the sky. With a small eye, they can figure out where is the dead body, where is the dead corpse. So similarly, even the animals, different animals, they have some qualification. So similarly, if you want to understand the Supreme Lord, if you want to realize, here it is mentioned, correct? If you want to realize the Supreme Lord, we cannot understand, we cannot realize by our, in one lecture, Prabhupada, by our nonsense qualification, Prabhupada says. So, for us, these prayers which are offered by these exalted devotees, we should meditate, we should always repeat. By doing this, actually, slowly we will get a glimpse of these things, actually. Sometimes some devotee asks question like this, correct? A lot of questions in the early days, particularly the youngsters, Westerners. Prabhupada, what is this spiritual world all about this? Because here and there the descriptions are coming. So sometimes Prabhupada used to give, you go to Goloka, then you will get all the answers. Like that Prabhupada used to say. Because we cannot comprehend with our understanding. We have this mind-body system, which is conditioned, which is material, and we try to comprehend something beyond this. That's why Krishna's another name is Adokshaja. He cannot be perceived by a blunt material senses. So, Krishna, so qualification is very important. We have to acquire this qualification. So, Prabhupada then he says that for an advanced spiritualist, he can easily, why? Because he can easily discern between the soul and the body. Krishna begins the Bhagavad Gita because Arjuna didn't want to fight. He is beginning to explain him that we are not this body. So we have been repeatedly hearing this. But to come to that realization, it will take long time. So we have to do our sadhana, we have to practice, we have to read, we have to associate. Then only this will be reinforced in us. Because Krishna says, Deino asmin netha dehe kaumaramyam manamjara. Deha and Dehi, they are two different things. We have this body, the soul is also there within the body. So, Deino asmin natha dehe kaumaramyam mananjara tatha dehantara prab dhiras tatran muyati. So, the soul transmigrates into another body. And a self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. So, these advanced spiritualists, transcendentalists, they clearly know they are not this body. They are all in that stage. So, Prabhupada says that So this world is mixed up with spirit and matter. Whereas in the spiritual world, everything is spiritual. We understand from Brahma Samhita also, even the trees, any living entity, this grass, they are all conscious, fully conscious. Here also they are, but their consciousness level is very low. That description is given in the Brahma Samhita. So, in that verse, Kunti Maharani's verse, it says, Tata Paramahamsana Munina. Munina means again thoughtful. Muni means who can agitate the mind. They will come up with the philosophy. So very, very thoughtful actually. Amalatmanam. So mala means dirty thing, contaminated. Amalatma means free from contamination. So here also it is mentioned the same thing. See? Prabhupada, in the translation itself, he mentions that when the darkness in their arts is completely eradicated and you are revealed to them. So right now we are all in Tama. The material world is Tamo. Tamasi ma jyoti gamaha. We are all in Tamo guna. We want to, Tama means also refers to lazy. We want to sleep. These are the characteristics of people in Tamo guna. They want to sleep more. So then you cannot understand the Supreme Lord. So in that lecture also Prabhupada says, Prabhupada in the purport of that Bhagavatam verse 1.8.20 he writes, Krishna is not known by great learning or greatest brain. So there are many philosophers, many scholars, many scientists. Their brains are all very great. But they cannot understand the simple fact even a Bhakta in ISKCON can understand actually. So this is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our Parampara. Though we are not familiar with all these things, we are not familiar with Sanskrit, we don't know all these verses. Still, we are at least able to theoretically understand this thing. So Prabhupada, but only by one who has his mercy, he can understand the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, Krishna cannot be known. So many people go on speculating. They are thinking, this is my opinion, this is what I feel. All these things. No, but Prabhupada never writes all these things. It's all based on scriptures. All based on these authorities, on the parampara understanding. So, we have to acquire that qualification. Correct? So, very important for acquiring the qualification, we should become eager. Rupa Goswami also says, correct? Laulyam is the only price we have to pay to understand who is Krishna, what is his position, whom we are. So that eagerness, anyway, all of us are eager to know so many things in this material world, but very few of us try to understand about the higher values of life that we can do only in the human form of life. So we should be eager. And this is possible simply by devotional service. That's why Prabhupada in the verse also says this. One who is fully absorbed in samadhi through bhakti yoga is mentioned in the translation. And in the purport, Prabhupada writes, all these realizations are possible when one engages in full devotional service. So, we are all very fortunate to get an opportunity to render practical devotional service actually to the mission of the Lord. So, simply by devotional service, man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskar. Very simple. So here it is said, see, therefore, we simply offer you our respectful obeisance. The Devatas are saying, 2-3 verses before also they said, because we were created by you, so we don't know who you are. So we can only do one thing, we can offer our respectful obeisances. So, man mana, we have to always be thinking of Krishna. We think of so many things except Krishna. So slowly we should change our thinking process. Man mana, bhava mad bhakto, Krishna is saying, become my devotee. Because through devotion only we can know Krishna. Not by our scholarship, not by our speculation, not by our intelligence, not by the greatest brains, we cannot understand Krishna. Only by, many verses are there. But Krishna directly says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya ma abhijanati. There is no other way, only by process of devotional service. So, and Prabhupada then is saying that even a small child can render devotional service. Nobody is barred from devotional service. Anybody can render. That's why when we see during our kirtan, during our pujas, abhishek and all, small kids and all, they are also excited. They are seeing what is happening. They don't know all the details about who is Krishna, who is God, who is Supreme, what are they. They don't know. But just by coming to temple, that's why this temple worship, deity worship is very important. So people, when they come and see what is going on here in the altar, when the pujari does the arti, it's not an ordinary thing. Actually, that is also a preaching. So when we do that systematically in sync, all the three altars in the main temple, people are, wow, wonderstruck, correct? You can observe when you stand at the back of the main temple hall. People, oh, what is happening? Otherwise, actually, we are self-centric. We are concerned about ourselves only. We want people to worship us, glorify us. Here you see people, pujari doing chamara, vyajana, all these things. They are wonderstruck actually. See how these acharyas, how they have introduced these things. Very simple thing. But that's why sometimes what happens, when something is easily given to us, we become very complacent. We take it for granted. Just like our arti we have to attend, darshan arti. Conch will be blown here by the pujari. We will be aram say doing something maybe in the ashram here and there. So we should make it a point, unless and until something is emergent, very important, it's emergency mode, then only you should be away. Otherwise we should be here in the main temple hall. So if we practice this, we have to practice. That's why sadhana, Vaidhi Bhakti, we have to practice day in, day out. You may think, oh, same song, what is there? Same song they are singing. It's not like that. Prabhupada even he says, even if you don't understand the language, even you don't understand the meaning, if you just hear Krishna, Chaitanya, all these things, actually soul gets benefit like anything. We all will be aware, you have read also this. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura was publishing a small publication. So whenever this people, devotees used to write, and it will be taken to him for final approval for the publication. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to see how many times the word Krishna, Chaitanya, Narayana, all these things are used. Prabhupada explains that. So more number of times you use, it will be taken actually. Just like in the Bhagavatam, in all the books, correct? Before the beginning, in the introduction also, this Tadvag Visargo, that verse is mentioned, the preface. Prabhupada made it a point to write that Bhagavatam 1.5.11. A beautiful verse actually. Tadvag Visarto Janata Ava Viplavaha. Tadvag Visargo Janatagha Viplava. The translation is, this Narada Muni is instructing Vyasadeva. On the other hand, the literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of name, fame, form, pastime, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation. Unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words, directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious life of the world's misdirected civilization. See what conviction Srila Prabhupada had. Just like you sang that song while we are singing that bhajan song. So Prabhupada had a totally misdirected civilization. And this Bhagavatam, it can impious lives of the world's misdirect such transcendental literature, even though imperfectly composed or heard, sung and accepted by purified man who are thoroughly honest. So that is the power of this Vedic mantra, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and all. Maybe we are not able to understand. Prabhupada also explained this, correct? In many places he says in the lecture. Even in the audience somebody may not understand now English. But if you just hear Krishna, Chaitanya, Narayana, Vishnu, any Krishna's name, you will get benefit. See, that's why this Bhakti Yoga, the devotional service, is a mystical process. Prabhupada uses all this word, correct? That's why our logic, our intelligence will fail to understand how an ordinary bhakta like us can dwell into Bhagavatam. This is actually Paramahamsa literature. It's relished by very advanced devotee. Sukadeva Goswami says that Atma Ramas are relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are not fully realized. We are not relishing that. We don't have taste. Still we are given this opportunity. So we should make it a point, because Prabhupada also in the only two line, he is talking about different grades of realization, impersonal, then personal realization, then Chaturviva, the material creation, three Vishnus are there. Only two line purport is there. In last sentence he is writing, the covered course of one's heart is then completely open to receive the understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His various forms. So right now we are all covered, we are all in illusion. It is full, our heart, our consciousness, our mind is full of dirty things. That's why we have to go on pushing in these spiritual topics, chanting this Navavidha Bhakti. When we do that, actually all the dirty things will slowly get away. Few minutes I will take extra. Then Prabhupada is saying in one place, why dirty things are accumulated in our heart? Actually, if you analyze dirty things, it is due to sinful activities. We commit sin due to ignorance. So, because of sinful activities, all the dirty things are there. So, when the dirty things are there, we cannot understand, we cannot relish now. But the only solution is, we have to do it day in, day out. Just like Prabhupada gives the example of a person afflicted with jaundice. He has to take only that sugar cane juice or sugar candy. It will be very bitter. But just by taking that, the bitterness will go and he will be cured of jaundice. We all know this. So that's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Esham tu Antagatam papam janana punya karmanam te dandamoya nirmukta bhajante man didavatam. In the 7th chapter we are chanting, correct now? The translation is, persons who have acted piously in previous life and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated. The same word eradicated is brought out in this today's translation. Are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So, bhajante ma dridhavata. We should be actually determined in spiritual life. See, one life, you would have heard many times I am mentioning this, one life we should gamble for Krishna. Prabhupada says this. So that determination we should have. We have taken this path anyway, so why not go full out? Go beyond, extend your body. Little extra mile you go, nothing will happen actually. So, attending this morning sadhana program is a wonderful process for curing our mental disease. Our disease, we have this disease actually, we should understand at least. We should, then only we will work on that. We should not miss this opportunity. Little we should push. All it is created in the mind actually. No problem. I was speaking to Madhu Pandit Prabhu, he is little unwell last few days. See, 2 o'clock he is sending some message on Krishna and all. Whenever he gets the opportunity, he does that. And he was telling, I'm feeling I want to come for Mangalarti, I'm not able to come like that. See, he's practicing for 50 years, we are practicing for maybe 5, 10 years, 15 years. What is this? So, we should push little. And that too, the situation we are in now, I don't know how somebody can not attend this program in the morning and all. Correct? We are in the pinnacle of something happening, big thing happening in ISKCON. So we should pray, we should come out, we should express. That's how we can attract Lord's mercy. Maybe we have some health issue, all these things are there. Still we can push through. What is there? Nothing is going to happen. We are not going to die. So like that, it's a nice opportunity for us. And because full of glorification only, morning 5 hours, nothing else. We are not disturbed with any other services. So we should try our level best. We should pray to Prabhupada and Krishna to help us. Again, see, on our own we cannot do anything. So before going to take rest, we should pray, Lord. We should pray to Prabhupada, please, I want to attend Mangalarti, I want to do this, I want to do this service for you. So this is very important. So Prabhupada says in one place, so by chanting Hare Krishna with attention, our tongue and hearing process is locked up. This is actually samadhi. So somehow or other we have to force ourselves to be engaged in the process of devotional service, which is served to us very simply actually. It's not susukam kartam avyam. Krishna himself is saying, it's not difficult. Only we make it complicated actually. So it's humble request actually. We should all try to push through, chant more rounds, read, go and preach. All these things we have to do. It is for our own good, for our own spiritual benefit. So it's a nice opportunity. So I'll stop here. A lot of points are there. We are running out of time. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki.